shy today. I've got some kind of random question. The actual first official play snap against the Bucs, not the blitz, but there was a pass to the left flat to Deebo. And, like, he wasn't looking for it, like banged off his shoulder. What happened in that play?
From what I can remember, it's a quick game play. So I set left. Deebo's my first guy in the progression, and then Ayuk second. I just saw space, and he had leverage on the backer, so I tried to put it on him on his back shoulder. And I remember, like, he just saw it different. He thought, he's going to run up the field and have me put it over his shoulder, where I thought I needed to put it on him. So we were just not on the same page. Second play of the game, I think it was. So yeah.
The first play didn't count.
Yeah, the explosive. Yeah. Yeah.
It was your first official snap as a starter.
Yeah, we were just not on the same page, but from there I feel like we got right with each other.
George said he thought that first play, but it woke you up. Is that what happened?
Honestly, yeah, I was like, okay, I need to get into it, and that hit actually sort of settled just like the nerves and stuff that I had for that game. I feel like I sometimes need to get hit to get into the game and feel like, all right, now I'm good to go. I'm good to stand in the pocket and make throws and go through progressions. So that hit sort of helped.
You ever have somebody hit you before the game to try and build
Nah. I just usually just let the game do it for me. So, yeah.
George was laughing in the huddle. He said he was kind of laughing at you a little bit.
Probably. I don't really remember, man. I was so locked in on, dang it, dude, I was in the wrong play or whatever. So, but knowing George, he probably was laughing.
As you reflect on that moment, that game, your first start winning against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, what do you think about when you think about that moment, that game?
Yeah, it was huge. Just like the confidence, that came from that, knowing that, all right, I can play in this league. We were on a roll too. We had our sights set on, finishing out the season strong. So I was more excited just to show my teammates and the guys in this building that, I can be the guy to help do that. And so it was a huge game for myself, my confidence, and looking back on it, it's always, sort of fun just to see, where I was, as a backup trying to make my way in the NFL, and then, sort of making a name for myself. So, yeah, it's always good. It's a good memory for sure.
When did you break your rib that game? And when did you know it was broken, like till the next day?
Yeah, it was the third down where I scrambled and dove. I dove for the first down. There was a holding on the play, so it didn't even count. But I remember when I extended, my body just sort of twisted against itself on the ground, and I felt a pop. And but I had so much adrenaline and stuff. I was like, all right, I'm fine. I'll keep playing. And then every drive, it just got more painful and more painful. And then in the second half, I was like, yeah, this is killing. So, yeah.
You got hit on both your touchdown passes in that game. You got hit pretty hard. Did you feel it in particular on those plays?
Yeah, in the back of my mind, every hit and stuff, I was sort of trying to roll with the hits and stuff, trying to protect my rib. But, yeah, it was, like I said, it just sort of started getting worse and worse every drive. I remember that 2-minute drill before the half, that last touchdown to BA. That one, I was like, yeah, this is hurting real bad. So, but the adrenaline and stuff from the game, sort of just kept me going through it. So, yeah.
How similar does the Bucs defense look now as it did back then?
I think the scheme and everything is similar. Last year we obviously didn't get a whole lot of Vita Vea, Winfield Jr. So it's like those guys, man, they make a huge difference in that defense. They're the generals on the field, and then obviously the backers. We played against them last year, but with all of them playing together, man, it's definitely different for us. But in terms of the scheme, the coverages, and what they do, it's similar, but every year is a little different. So, yeah.
After the game the other day, you talked about the value of having Deebo and Trent back on the field. I'm curious, just big picture, how do you view having those guys? What does it mean in terms of just kind of setting a tone for what you guys want to be as a team?
Yeah, I mean, they've been huge pieces, the last couple of years for this offense. Guys that we could all look to in terms of, creating the energy, the spark. And honestly, even like before the game, Trent is the one that breaks us all down before we go out to the field. And, you know, when he's not playing, he doesn't do it. So even just having that kind of aspect and energy, like he's a huge piece of this culture, man. And then Deebo as well, obviously being able to get him the ball, make plays, you know, feed off his energy and his swagger that he plays with. You know, they've had so much success and helped build this place to what it is now over the past couple of years. So having those guys back, I mean, they're huge. They're a part of our offense. And you know, for me as a quarterback, it's like, man, like those are two of the guys that I always want to be playing with. And for me, it helps out with my confidence and stuff every play. So they're definitely huge for us.
I'm sure you don't mark time like this, but that Tampa game was the first of 17 starts. So since then, so you've basically started for one season now. When you look back at that game and that film, would you see, and you look at yourself now, or do you see a dramatically or a lot better player now than 17 games ago?
Yes and no. You know, there's plays that I made and stuff in that game where everyone was like, you know, wow, this guy can play. So it just felt good. But, you know, after you play for a while, it's like, in a sense, you're sort of expected to play at that standard. So that's where I'm at with that. You know, I watched the film. There's some stuff on the film, honestly, where I was like, dude, like, that's a little sloppy. I can clean it up. Just the operation, how I run the offense. Those are all areas I feel like I've grown and can continue to be better at. But, you know, the spark, the energy, the chip on the shoulder that I played with in that game, I feel like in the sense is sort of the same. Like, still trying to prove to myself that, you know, I belong in this league and on this team and stuff like that. So, yeah.
You feel like you still have to prove that to yourself now?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm still learning with all this, my mindset and stuff throughout the season. It's a long season, but even like the 3 games where we lost, it's like sort of reminding myself of, dude, you know, you got to play with that chip on your shoulder again and be hungry and prove to yourself that, you know, every single game you got to prove to yourself that you're, you know, supposed to be there. And so looking back on the film and watching that Bucs game, it's like, man, I was playing like that. So it's always good to go back and sort of just remind myself of that mentality.
What do you remember your emotional state before going into that game, your first NFL start, versus how you feel now before going into a game?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot. You know, last year going into that game, it's like everyone's eyes were on me. Like, I feel like the guys in the locker room and stuff, like, how's this rookie going to handle it? You know, the preparation. Like, it's one thing to get thrown into a game and you know, not all the pressure and stuff's on you. It's like you sort of have that outlet of, yeah, I just got thrown into the game. Give me a week to prepare. But now you got a week to prepare, and it's like, all right, let's see what you can do with it. So I feel like there definitely was some, you know, expectations and pressures and stuff that I felt just naturally. But, you know, compared to now, it's like, yeah, I put that pressure and expectation on myself in terms of I have to play at this standard now, you know, trying to get better every single week. But last year going into this game was definitely on another level.
How do you balance, you know, the mindset of stay aggressive versus be patient, take care of the football, and be, you know, take the check down? How do you balance that and still stay aggressive?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mindset, I'd say, you know, just playing without fear. You know, the fear of failure is something that, you know, I feel like I've learned over the years, especially in college. You know, if you go out there and have that mentality of, I don't want to mess up, then you start playing timid, and then you're, you know, obviously not playing like yourself, like you have growing up your whole life with that competitive edge. So that's one thing that I've learned for sure is to, you know, try to take out fear, throw it out the window, and play clear-minded, play like a surgeon, you know, do what Kyle's asking of me, but being smart with the ball at the same time, but also having the mentality of, you know, playing fearless. And that doesn't mean play reckless, but be smart with the ball, play within the offense and scheme. If something happens where it's off schedule, you know, play ball. So I'm still learning that, honestly, but I feel like that's how I look at it right now.
Go to Anthony, last one.
Brock, we asked a lot of guys on defense yesterday just about being complacent. Coming off the big win against Jacksonville, how do you make sure the guys in the huddle on offense aren't complacent and kind of overlooking this game just coming up that big win?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have so much, you know, experience and you know, just the veteran leadership on this team where I don't have to be a rah-rah guy and tell guys, hey, we can't get complacent or anything. Like, that's the expectation. We know it's a long season. Every single Sunday matters. That we all know what's at stake every Sunday. So that's the cool thing about it. I mean, but, you know, with new plays and new things going on for this game plan and this week, that's my job. That's where I sort of get on guys and be like, hey, we have to be cleaner here, 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 with the little details within the plays and stuff. So, I mean, that's, I guess, where I could get on guys, but I don't have to be in the locker room telling everybody because we have the experience and guys know what to do and what to expect. So, thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.